Ah, ah,
Uh,
ah,
Brian, what are you doing?
Push-ups. I'm up to like 6 now, almost to double digits, like Fitz.
Okay, yeah, don't
Ah.
do that because on the podcast it sounds like you're doing something else. Hey guys, welcome back into the Bro Force Squad podcast. This is our review of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 5, Episode 7, titled Together or Not at All, which was actually a part of my wedding vows. I'm your host, Jeff Hornacek. Alongside me, as always, is the mad scientist, Brian Banner, here to review this episode as we do all of our TV shows on our 4 criteria: the acting, the story, the best scene, and our theories going forward. Let's head right into the lab. Brian Banner, this was an episode after some crazy Fallout shit happened the previous episode. What did you think of the performances in Season 5, Episode 7?
Obviously, the main cast, as always, they're fantastic, except for Mac. I still hate him. I actually really dug Coy Stewart as Flint. I wasn't really sure, in the last couple of episodes when we were introduced to him and where they were going with him. I actually kind of dug where they were going. Is he the best actor? No. Was he bad? I'm not going to say no. I thought he did a good job. Thought he did really well. I'm not going to say he impressed me, but again, I liked how they gave kind of that kid that they're trying to protect and look over, and they're giving that where they're like those parents to somebody, almost like they were to Daisy when she first went through Terrigenesis. I kind of like that they brought that back. And then another person, Sonara, Florence Fevre, something like that.
She's been really good this whole season.
She's been really
man.
good this season. They actually gave her some meat.
She's had nothing to do till now, and so she kicked ass.
Yeah, and she knocked it out of the park for me. I loved her. I thought it was awesome. Her killing that dude, and then kind of learning her and Casillas' backstory was really cool. What about you? Who you got for cast?
So to Coy Stewart real quick, we've talked about this before. To find child actors for a TV show, it's like a Chinese restaurant. Like, most of the time it's going to be shitty, but if it's even decent, you have to appreciate it because it's hard to do. He was great. So Dominic Raines as Cassius. I still don't know how to say his name, guys. I'm really sorry. I swear I actually watched these episodes. This was, I think, his best performance. They gave him something to do. He came across as a sympathetic character. And fuck his brother. He's a huge dickhead. And I was actually rooting for Cassius.
What Kree has red hair?
I don't know.
That really just bothered me. Like, give him blonde hair before you give him red hair. I wasn't digging it.
In a weird way, and I know that this doesn't make sense, but stick with me. He kind of looks like Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I can see
All
that.
right. On to the story and the plot. Just a lot of action in this episode, which was pretty sick because they have shown that when they use CGI, they're not fucking around, and it's going to be awesome. What did you think of the story that we got in this episode?
Yeah, I liked it. I'm glad that they're progressing. They're kind of getting off the freighter for the most part. Going to the surface, they're moving forward. We're not going to have 20 episodes of them fighting the Kree now. Like, I feel like this is the transition where they're starting to move into that second phase of the season. So I'm really, really digging that. I am glad that Max stayed behind because I hope he dies, but I am sad that Yo-Yo is probably also going to die in staying behind with him. So that kind of sucks.
We'll get to that in theories. I can't continue to let you shit on Mac because he's him and Fitz have been my two favorite characters this season, and we're having you once said on this show that his shotgun axe isn't cool, and I still have trouble kind of contemplating that thought.
It's not cool.
This was my second.
Made a shotgun axe way better.
I don't know, man. There's really not much to it. It's a shotgun and an axe. I don't really know where else you want us to go. This is my second favorite episode of the season, aside from the Fitz and Lance Hunter episode, because I love those two characters. There was tons of action. The team finally got together. People got stabbed, and the Kree were shooting machine guns. How can I possibly not be pleased with that?
What more do you want, people?
Yeah, if you want more than that, then we need to have a talk outside of the show.
Go watch Dawson's Creek.
Or don't. Best scene in this episode, I'm going to go with May and Enoch on the surface of Earth when Enoch is using like Gandalf's walking stick, killing stray cats and those bug creatures. Two things I liked about this. Again, the CGI for a TV show I thought was great.
Incredible. That's
even
better
just
than
in
some movies I've seen recently.
Sadly, yes, it is. And I also I do like well-placed exposition and him kind of explaining to May who he is, how he got there, how he's been working with Fitz, and just sort of the look on her face like, oh, wow, I actually thought this whole time we were way in over our heads, but it seems like we might have a shot to come out of this thing alive. That was a cool scene. And then, of course, the way that it ended, I don't know if I can still count this as the same scene, but all the stuff with Robin I thought was a great way to end the episode. What'd you have for best scene?
Yeah, we'll get to that stuff with Robin here in a minute. My best scene was actually when Cassius, whatever the fuck his name is, killed his brother and with Sonara. Again, I thought that was just kind of the cherry on top, the icing on the top of the cake of developing Sonara and whatever the fuck his name is, story arc. I thought they did a good job with that and kind of showing, look, they're in it together, because you kind of don't really understand why he has such a hard-on for her other than she's hot. You know that there's more there, but you don't understand why, and that really, you get it why. And then obviously using the sword, getting the blood on his hands, kind of going back to what his brother had said. I just thought that was a really cool scene, and it changed my entire perception of Cassius.
In that scene, Sonara was like the recruit on signing day. Like, you don't know if she's going with Cassius or his brother, and then she like switches hats at the last second. And by switching hats, I mean stabs a broadsword through Cassius' brother's heart. This episode, I don't know. This episode showed you why they wanted to move to Friday nights, because there were some gruesome deaths. It was pretty awesome. All right, last part of our review is theories going forward. Not a lot to go off of in this. Again, just another one where they did what we wanted, progressed the plot, kept everything moving at a great pace. What do you think is going to happen next on the show?
Obviously, we've got Coulson and the team, minus Yo-Yo and Mac, are going to be on the surface. I don't know if they're going to be injured or whatever, because Coulson can land a flying car, but he can't really land a spaceship, which, I mean, it's understandable. Who can't?
I can't.
Well, all right, neither can I. But they're going to be on the surface. The two people that are with Robin, I think, is the biggest question mark here. And I think you and me have differing opinions and similar opinions. I think it's going to be Hunter and Bobby's kids. As much as I'd love for it to be Bobby and Hunter, because I really miss them out of the show, and Lance Hunter, that episode with him earlier in the season was awesome.
Yeah.
I just don't see how we can get another two people 90 years in the future, 70 years in the future, whatever it is. I just think that's a stretch even for this show. But having them be related to them in some way is very possible, which would be really cool.
I think if Lance and Bobby just drink kale smoothies and apply lotion regularly to their skin, they could look the same in 90 years. Robin showing up, I'm interested to see how she survived the destruction of Earth. I know she knew it was going to happen. Did she just do like Indiana Jones in the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and hide in a fridge when everything exploded, and that's how she lived?
That's probably it.
Was she off planet? I don't know. I hope somehow that those two people with her are Lance and Bobby. I'm going to be really disappointed if they're just like two people that she found on Angie's list to help her out on the surface of the Earth.
Yeah, but they had 5 stars, Jeff.
I know. I'm not saying that they can't get the job done, but I'll just be disappointed. And one last thing, I think that now we almost know for sure that Mac and or Yo-Yo are not going to make it through this show. Them staying behind to help Flint, it was kind of to me like foreshadowing. And all their relationship stuff this season, you know what they do in this show? They build people up, they make us fall in love with them so they can take them away from us. So that's
nobody's falling in love with Mac because he sucks.
I am, and so's the rest of the world. If you're not on the train, then we're leaving without you.
That's fine. But Yo-Yo, I hope Yo-Yo survives, but I don't. I think both of them are going to end up dying, honestly.
Sadly, I'm kind of right there with you. All right, guys, that has been our review for Season 5, Episode 7 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. For the mad scientist, Brian Banner, I'm the mayor, Jeff Hornacek. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, @Bro4Squad. Subscribe to us on YouTube and iTunes, Bro4Squad, 3 words. If you could leave us a 5-star iTunes review, we'd appreciate it. We'll definitely read it on our show. And as always, check out all of our content and our squad blog on our website at bro4squad.com. Until then, we'll catch you next time. Hey Brian, you want to try this anti-gravity belt I just bought at H&M?
Yeah, sure. What do you do with it?
You can't use it. Sorry, I just bought it. It's fine.